recording? Okay, there.
Yeah, it is. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the podcast.
Oh,
I'm happy to announce that we're officially rebranding the podcast and changing the name
What?
to you know what, guys?
what?
Can you guys
Your mom?
guess? The
What?
talk to a podcast.
Talk to a
This
podcast.
podcast is
Oh, that's
now the talk to a podcast.
I
Yeah,
don't think I like that name.
it's
Well, then you're gay. Shut the
it's
fuck
too
up.
late. We already
Uh,
made the changes.
No, bro. Y'all agreed on Tim Bang's awesome show featuring two Mexicans, and
Tim Bang's awesome
We
show.
never,
we never
talked
agreed.
We
about
never
that.
agreed.
Were you talking behind my back?
No, we never
we all just
agreed with
settled
it.
on
We never
the
said
better
anything
name
about
of
it.
talk to yeah.
That's not fair, man. I should be the centerpiece because I'm single.
No, we're good like that.
Oh, ooh, that
Yeah,
is
man.
loud.
Anyway, it's October now. It's finally the spooky.
My birthday
fucking
was yesterday.
Scary.
Not
yeah,
really.
Angel's birthday was yesterday.
No, it
Well,
Well,
wasn't.
as of recording, because but a little slow.
I'm slow. You bitch. You told me your birthday was the 8th and it was the 9th.
The 8th? What do you mean? I never told you it was the
You
8th.
did.
No,
I
it was the
literally
19th.
fucking have it noted.
What is it? The
No,
19th?
you didn't. I never told you.
I have
It
it.
was
I
the 8th.
fucking have it. You
Since
did?
when?
Since fucking 1 month ago.
I said it was the
1 month
9th.
and a half. You
Yeah,
said,
you said it was the
you
9th.
said
It was the 9th.
I asked you both when your birthday was, and you said, "Oh, it's 8th of October." You're fucking.
I never said that. It was on the 9th. I
You
said it was on the
did!
9th of
You-
October.
Dude, I literally know. I have it. I have it here. The fucking moment you told me, I wrote it and I saved it. And now it was the 9. Now you're telling me it was a fucking 9.
Wait, what do you think
No?
my birthday
What
is
do you
for
mean?
Solero?
Your
You
birthday
really was
is
the
the
9th. You
January
got that fucking
28th.
birthday thing.
Finally, you get it something right for
Yeah,
once.
because you did say when your birthday was. Angel didn't.
Oh, I did though.
Any fucking way. It's
What?
October now. Angel's birthday. He's 15 now. Congratulate him in the
Yeah,
fucking
it's October 9th.
comments. Say happy birthday, you fucking dog shit, or something.
Fuck you.
But you know, to change things up a bit, we decided to actually come prepared to a podcast for once. I told you too to get a little creepy pasta, little story for you to read. I don't know if you guys did it. I know Angel just fucking looked one up. Didn't you,
Yeah.
Angel?
You know too much.
I've got a creepy pasta for y'all.
Yeah.
Look at
What
look
is
at the
it?
GC. Look at the GC.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
What? Can you describe the image? I'm not gonna put this in the fucking thing.
See it anymore.
Describe the image, Angel.
Bro, just censor it.
It's a Smurf. That's it.
I don't think
Come
that's
on,
it.
I don't want to
You
say
just-
the whole thing.
You need to describe it in full detail.
I don't want to say the whole
Describe
thing.
it.
It's basically a naked Smurf where
Shut the fuck
sleeping
up.
with its bare ass out, and below the Smurf, there's Spanish text that thinks something on the lines of "Amanha sele molto ai kilos" or something.
I'm not gonna put this image into the fucking video.
Bro.
You're gonna look it up. Just look. Smurf bare
Damn it.
ass naked on a couch.
I could link it all. I
sleeping.
could link it in the description. I have it saved and bookmarked.
Why?
Why do you have it
Why?
saved?
Not. Why not? It's the best creepy pasta.
You're
It's a
changing the
fucking
topic.
naked Smurf, though.
What do you mean? It's more than a naked Smurf. It's like a commentary of our current society on how
It's just a naked.
You're
Smurf.
such a weirdo.
oh, it's how like commentary on how guys like me never get girlfriends because we're too nice for this world.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Really,
So we're getting
Burgeria?
sidetracked over
Damn it.
here. You know what? Just
Thanks
for
a
that,
lot, Bocholero.
Timang, you're gonna start reading. You're gonna read
Ah.
one.
Yeah, you're
so
gonna
sorry.
read
what we're
first.
gonna do? It's gonna be one Tin, one Angel, one me, and then back to Tin, and back to Angel, and then back to me.
I only
Does it
have two.
sound good?
All right.
Okay, then start talking to us.
Name a number 1 through 4. I've picked 4
I picked
creepypastas.
4. Okay, Angel, you do it since you're the birthday boy.
No, you just said I gotta start.
No, you are gonna start. I mean, Angel, you say the number.
Pick a number 1 through 4, Angel.
I think. Wait, did Angel? Did Angel
Angel?
fucking die?
Angel. Angel. Hey,
What the?
Angel. Angel, say something.
Okay, I don't know
If
what.
you'll.
Okay, wait. Okay,
Aw.
shut up.
What happened?
Okay, I don't know what happened. It disconnected my mic for some reason. But 3.
Oh, I was about to. You were silent, and I was about to say something if you don't consent to me doing your mom.
What?
And I was about to be so ecstatic if you
Shut
didn't
the
say
fuck up.
anything.
Fucking, can you say a number 1 to 4, please?
And I said something. Okay, I said 3.
Okay,
Okay, 3.
this creepy pasta is called hold on, The Art of Jacob and Maury.
Okay, you gotta narrate it in a fucking scary voice.
All right, creepy music playing.
Yep.
All right, ghost stories. Nah, we don't have anything like that around here. We do have the story of Jacob, but that's about as close as you'll get. You
Wait,
really
wait, wait,
want
wait. Before you keep
what?
going, can
You
you
really
can we turn
what?
off our lights? I just wanna
All
turn
right,
my lights off. Oh,
My lights
wait,
are
wait.
off. My
I
lights
lights are
will, I
off.
always
will.
off.
Wait. Just wait a minute.
Wait.
What?
Okay, there.
Right.
There
All
we
right,
go. There.
cue back.
Okay,
Are
go.
you guys ready now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cue back the creepy music. You
Yep.
really want to know? Well, I'm not supposed to tell you, but alright. Just no interrupting. I don't have the patience for it. How to describe Jacob Emery? Well, I guess you could say he was kind of the guy you could never take notice of. This isn't to say he was a bad kid. In any sense, many people in this town thought he was the most reliable person for an object in this state, but he never really excelled in anything. He was living proof behind the statement, Jack of all trades, ace of none. Most of this was due to his own lack of will. He dabbled in damn near everything this town could offer him: automobiles, radio stations, store management, what have you, but he never stuck with anything. His friends and workers went after him about it a number of times, but everybody got the same unsatisfying response. It wasn't just enough. Needless to say, any friends he kept were either very patient or never spoke of the matter altogether. It was probably inevitable then that Jacob would leave to go abroad. I don't remember where he went, but I think Gertrude down the street knew before she passed on. You'll have to scout someone else if you ever get curious. In any case, no one even tried to stop him. Everybody thought that a little travel would stamp the ambition out of him, or else or else feed it until it was no longer an issue. Hell, we even gave him a sending off party, which I thought was pretty nice of everybody. So anyway, he was gone for 6, 7 years. Can't remember. You'll have to check with someone else about that too. Anyways, he came back eventually, and he had changed. Obviously enough, he was amiable, energetic, all smiles all the time, and we all quickly learned why. He showed us a souvenir he'd brought back, a solid black stick, the length of a pencil, but the texture of chalk. We all wondered why on earth such a simple thing would prompt such spring in his step, until he gave his demonstration. He took a piece of paper and with this stick, God, there's gotta be a better word for it. With this stick, he drew a crude circle. It dropped and rested on the border of the paper like stone. It didn't leave the paper, but it acted out on it, sort of like an old movie projector on a screen. Son, I know how crazy that sounds, and if you feel like playing skeptic, then you can leave an old man to his craziness, but I know what I saw. Even if everyone's been hushing it up and that stone he drew dropped, Jake even passed around the paper, and as it was being passed, it rolled around as the paper got tilted. None of us had any words for it. Hell, what was there to say? He continued drawing demonstration after demonstration for us, stick figures in various pageants and plays, doing everything from fighting each other to making perfect human pyramids. And we all thought it was incredible. That was all the get-go ahead he needed. He announced that he planned to put on shows to pay for rent and food, where he would draw anything the crowd members wanted, that we talked to some length about, and he eventually convinced us that it would be safe, his drawings ethical, and the practice lucrative and unique, and the attention would not go anywhere outside of the town's borders. Poor Jacob. If it had not been so swept up in the moment, I might have read the signs right then and there and saved that sorry son of a bitch by snapping that terrible thing in half. But I was younger, we all were, and we saw no problem with encouraging him with what we all saw as an incredible experience to be shared with everyone else. Now, he didn't have any big radio or television connections, mind you, and the internet wouldn't come around for another decade. So he did what all people on a short shoestring budget do. He advertised his show with flyers. Flyers might not mean anything to you city folk, but in a small town, they gain a fair glance over time from time to time. And what's more, Jacobs managed to stick out by having little figures jump up and down and whatnot to get people's attention. His first show must have gotten nearly 60 or so people, probably a lot more than that. And his shows were fantastic. Somebody would shout out a scene from a play or a comedy sketch, and Jake's hand would fly over a white wall like a bird. He's been holding back what he made with that stone, that's for damn sure. His illustrations were all spot on, and he could make incredible human figures in minutes. Come to think of it, I don't remember any of his scenes lasting more than 10 minutes to make. They were all really well done scenes too. Not only you see a knight charge a castle, Jake would draw the castle's interior as well, like a wedding cake split down the middle, so you could see the knight scale the walls, fight his way through the levels to the dungeon, fight back out with the princess, and make a leaping jump out of the castle parapets onto his gateway horse, all in complete silence. Not realistic, no, but that was part of the appeal. None of us went in there expecting something real. When a scene or a sketch was finished, either the characters would leave off of a wall or he'd cover the wall with white paint. This was good, in a way. It gave these shows a time limit so that when he'd finish with all of the four walls in the room, everyone knew the show was over until the paint dried. Jake, meanwhile, was changing in a bad way. I mentioned that upon his return, he'd been extremely energetic. Well, that energy, that vitality or fervor, or whatever you want to call it, it never left him, not for an instant. Far from it, it seemed to grow in him, and he enjoyed it all too much. His eyes grew wider, he slept gradually less over time, his statements and opinions became more radical and frenzied, and though he was never a pushover, he was starting to make people nervous in his company. Month or two passed. Jake's audience grew nearly like a wildfire. Nearly everyone in the town paid to see Jake's art in action, and he had to rent out larger and larger places for them to sit. He now didn't stop after one scene was done. He moved directly on to the next, put on the next blank space on the wall, sometimes to the intriguing effect of causing scenes to mingle, which the crowds loved. The subject matter got more wild and immoral. The monsters got more bizarre and creative, the fighters using more impossible weaponry, all for the sake of the crowd's interest. Jake got steadily more indulgent, which we figured was from the money, and he became a drinker and a womanizer. Neither of which got rid of that vitality, by the way. Some of those women claimed that they'd woken up in the middle of the night to see him scribbling with that stick on a drawing pad, a gigantic grin on his face, and while most of them said that they'd assume he was drawing them in the nude, there's rumors that one of them got glances at that notepad. Those anonymous few supposedly said that those drawings absolutely weren't nude pictures, but neither of them, whoever they are, will say what he was drawing. Don't bother looking for the notepads or flyers, though. They're all gone now. I'm getting off track. Point is, it was hitting the bottle, and that's important, because it was that drinking that would eventually ruin everything. On the night of one of his performances, he walked in the front of the cheering crowd. It was immediately apparent to everyone that he was completely drunk. I was in the front row. I could smell the bourbon on him from 10 feet away. The show started. He went through a bunch of sketches and scenarios the crowd recommended. When at the end, someone asked that he draw himself. Everyone cheered the idea. I guess they've been wondering what his creations thought of him, and he eventually obliged. No sooner had Jake finished connecting the final two lines on his code than every single character across the vast, expansive wall all stopped and looked directly at that illustration. Lovers stopped kissing, clowns stopped laughing, robots stopped fighting pirates. Everything stopped and looked at the Jacob illustration. Crowd died almost instantly. I remember Jake's face at that moment, pale white, full of terrible comprehension of his mistake, and looking desperately for the cans of white paint he forgot to put out before the show. Everyone else, they were looking at the fake Jacob. That Jacob reached into his jacket pocket, pulled out a black stick of his own, and as we all watched, drew a door. He pushed on his side, and the door swung open, allowing him to walk through onto the floor of the auditorium. The rest was absolute hellish pandemonium. People screamed and ran for the exits as Jacob's characters, both those currently on the wall and those which had previously left before being covered up, ran out of their own exit, throwing pies, shooting lasers, blowing fire and poison, and the impossible. I was near enough the exit to escape and gave only one backwards glance. The scene will haunt me forever. Jacob Emery was being dragged by his creations, kicking and screaming through the door his copy had made. The auditorium burned down, obviously enough, but I had no idea how many characters escaped, what happened to the fake Emery, or how many people died. The fire brought the fire department from the nearest cities up to over 100 miles away. They in turn brought the police force, which brought the government, which hushed up everything. They took the flyers and any art Jake had made and swore everyone to secrecy or else life detainment. The fire was blamed on a cigarette in the garbage during a basketball game, and we all eventually went on with our lives. Jacob was made to never have existed. In retrospect, I realize everything. Jacob hadn't been creating illustrations. Illustrations don't move, much less act or attack. They're just images people see, shadows made to look like real things. Jacob had been making life, actual thinking things in some alternate dimension, using a power that was never meant to fall to his mortal hands. He got drunk on his power. His punishment was probably well deserved. Incidentally, the government screwed up on two different accounts. They they did a damn good job silencing everyone, but proof remains. The ruins are still there. The auditorium's ruins. I hear they're going to start construction soon, which will wipe out any remaining evidence someone can definitely see. But I went back there once, several years after the fire, just once. Amidst the rubble, covered in ash, I saw something squirming. I looked closer. It was Jacob Emery's hand on the wall, exactly like it had been 3 years ago, sweaty and callous, but I remember. But it was constantly flailing as the body it was supposed to be attached to was still writhing in flames. That was mistake number one. Number two was those creations. Like I said, I don't know how many escaped, nor how many the government agents found and caught, but I will say this. Those tall grass meadows on the outskirts of town, don't go into them, ever. You were asking about those white figures you've seen at night, right? This town doesn't have ghost stories.
Oh man.
So how do you think?
Oh shit. Okay.
Come on, what?
Wait. I think you said you mentioned something about this. I don't know when, but you kind of said so. Basically, the story is about a guy that finds like
No,
a.
that was not the story. That was a different story that I'll probably
Was
talk
it?
about. No, that this is a different story I found.
Okay. Okay. So let's recap a bit. Just
Yeah.
explain the basics.
Okay, so it's about this guy who found a purple crayon and he used that magic crayon and draws himself off the book's pages and into the
Yeah.
physical world. Harold finds that he has a lot to learn about real life. Produced by John Davis through Davis Entertainment in association with TSG Entertainment. The film premiered at Culver City, Los Angeles on July 21st, 2024,
Oh,
and was released in the United States by Columbia Pictures through Sony Pictures releasing on August 2. The film received generally negative reviews from critics and grossed 29.2 million against a
what's the name of the film?
Harold in the Purple
Oh
Crayon,
my.
but it's but
Okay. No, nothing. You just
but
said it was a different story, but it sounds like the same story of a guy that gets a crayon and can draw things and they become real.
yeah, it's Harold in the Purple Crayon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the creepypasta you just told us that was used and to make the movie.
No, the movie was inspired by a book. This creepypasta is his own thing.
Okay, but it's kind of similar.
Yeah, a guy finds like a magic writing object which he uses to bring objects to life, but mainly on like surfaces and stuff. And one
Okay.
day he hosted a show where he demonstrates his magical crayon powers, but then he drew himself, and then his fake self drew like his real life creations to reality, and they caused havoc and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. Oh,
Yeah,
Angel, what do you think about it?
yeah. Angel, say something if you consent to me doing your mom.
Wait, wasn't it? If you didn't, Angel?
Don't say anything if you uh consent to me doing your mom. I guess he consents to me doing his mom.
Is he fucking here?
The chat says that the website is lagging for some reason.
Oh,
Angel, can you still hear the stories? Come on, Angel, respond.
I swear to God, I don't want to record this again.
I just read the best. I just read Harold in the Purple Crayon to you guys.
So you did. You just twisted it.
What do you mean?
You just took
Basically,
the Herald and the purple crayon and twisted the story.
what do you mean?
You took the premise of a guy that gets a purple crayon or a magic
No,
crayon.
okay, so basically I told you a story, but it's its own original thing. And when you say that what's the story about, I started describing an entirely different story, that being Harold in the Purple Crayon, which you should watch, by the way.
They say it's pretty bad.
You're pretty bad.
I think it aired the same time that Wolverine and Deadpool movie aired, and well, it didn't have much to
Oh,
compare.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck happened,
Did
but
you get to hear it?
I heard it. It was good.
Okay. What do
I
you
don't know what
think of your
happened. It
thoughts?
disconnected my mic for some reason.
That's fine.
Shut the fuck up. Shut
Give
the
your
fuck
fucking
up.
thoughts about it.
Okay,
yo,
who's reading next?
You.
nuts. Who's
Your
really nuts?
turn. Give your
Alright,
thoughts about the creepypasta.
Yo,
creepy pasta. I have to read.
No, the Tin Man one.
yo.
Oh, yeah, I liked it. It's a cool story. Anyways,
What's cool about it,
What's cool
Angel?
about
I
it,
think it's
Angel?
like cool because of the like when he like draws himself, and then it starts creating chaos because of its fucking stupidity. I think it's cool.
I mean, how was he supposed to predict that drawing himself would cause himself to create a gateway between?
Well, to be honest, I
Uh,
wouldn't expect that. I wouldn't expect him to actually know what the
how?
fuck would happen. But like, I mean that I mean that it's kind of scary if that happens. If
Yes,
that would happen in real
that
life.
would be a
Anyways,
little scary. Yeah,
a little scary. Yeah, that would be scary. The fuck.
that would be a little.
Like,
Yeah, a little.
what if
Anyways,
Can I?
What
Uh,
if wait? What if the guy like draws
can we move on?
Pibby from Learning with Pibby,
Can we move on?
and
Can we
that
move
one
on now?
starts creating a
Can we
Pibby
move on?
glitch, and it
All right,
starts
who's
to
gonna read it?
fuck
All right,
up the
who's gonna
world.
read the next story? All right.
It's your turn, Angel.
God damn it.
Yeah,
Anyways,
Yeah.
Arachnophilia. That's the
Iraq,
story name.
Arachnophilia. That's the
Shut the
name.
fuck up. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
Arachnophobia, Iraq,
Arachnophilia. All
fear
right.
of Iraq.
Arachnophilia.
Now. Okay, shut up.
From
Let's
Iraq.
go. Okay,
All right.
shut up. All right. I live in a small town. Shut the fuck up. Okay. I live in a small rural town that was nestled away from a hustle and the bustle of a city. Life in an area not that far away from Richmond, Virginia. It's kind of that far. It's kind of far. God damn it! It's kind of town. It's the kind of town that would take about 20 minutes to drive from one end to the other. This main road that cuts straight down at the center of town, and everything is situated alongside of branching off from it. Oh shit. From it,
Oh, yeah.
my
Keep
house
going.
sat on a hill just in front of a thick patch of trees, which separated my house from the next street. The next street over in that particular direction was a little over the half of a mile, but as a kid, it felt as big as Amazon. I loved playing in the woods, and the sound of leaves crunching under feet. I ran from imaginary monsters towards castle into trees. Those were good, simpler times. I'm an only child, and I never really made any friends at school. Quite the opposite, actually. I was bullied the entire time. I was at school. Fuck. Until it happened. For the meantime, however, I found my solace using my imagination to take me a grand adventure under the shady canopy. One of the things that always interested me were the many different spiders that could have been found living within those woods. All the various shapes, the sizes, some harmless and other pretty lethal. God damn it!
Is that part of the story?
I think that was That was part of
Fucking
the
okay.
story.
It's interrupted now because my fucking dog is now barking.
Bark at it back.
Yeah. It's
Roar!
not easy.
Roar, roar.
Not gonna bark.
All right, kick them out. All right, kick them out of my room.
Okay.
All right. Weird interruption because my fucking dogs are stupid. Anyways,
That's fine.
one of the things that always interested me were the many different spiders that could be found living within these woods. All of various shapes and sizes, some harmless, some pretty lethal. They would adore the trees like ornaments. I would imagine I were a secret agent on this dangerous mission, dodging almost all invisible webs as they were laser beams. This could slice off an arm like butter. I've never been afraid of spiders, but I have always felt pity for them. As soon as any person sees one of them, their immediate reaction is to kill it, and that's a terrible way to live for any creature, spiders and human alike. Because of this, if I would ever spot a spider inside my house or somewhere that was potentially dangerous for them, I'd always try to pick it up and take it to safety. I'd use a piece of my cardboard or stick and assure the little guy on, then carry them outside to the grass or something to let them walk off. If I found one that I thought was especially interesting, like one with bright colors or abnormally long legs, I'd take it to the biggest tree in the woods and place it on a branch. Now, it might sound silly to you, but I'd also talk to them too. They wouldn't talk back, obviously. I don't think I was having real conversations with them or anything like that. I'd always I'd always speak to them like you speak to your pet. I'd always say hello whenever I saw them, and I'd apologize if I ever stripped them, stripped one of them. Meticulously crafted webs. I saw the spiders, and all creatures really as equals to people. After all, we are, every one of us here on Earth, just trying to survive. My father, however, did not share my optimistic disposition. My father was let's just say, let's just say he was never going to win a Father of the Year award. My mother, God rest her soul, died giving birth to me, and I've always felt like he blamed me for it. From the stories my neighbors and my aunt have told me, she was the sweetest person they'd ever met, and way too good for someone like my father. Shortly after my mom's passing, my Aunt Rose stayed with us for the first 5 years of my life, or so, and things were about as good as it could be for people in our situation. But that all changed when one day I came home from school to find my aunt sitting on our porch alongside all her things. When I asked what was going on, she simply stated that she had to leave and couldn't live with us anymore. It was only on one of my father's late night benders that I found out she had tried to make a move on the old man, only for him to violently react with a slap on her face, about on the door, about a boot out the door. That day was a true start of his consistently my downfall. Shut up. Anyways, he drank like a fish, just about every night I can remember. Since then, and I actually avoided every chance that I could. Some afternoon, I'd come to see him lazily slumped in his recliner, still clutching his precious and empty bottle. There was one night in particular he would drink much more than his usual amount. A day I had grown to despise and never looked forward to my birthday. On that day, when I got off the school bus and headed down my long, curving driveway and into the woods as usual, I would make a point to stay out later than normal to avoid dealing with my dad most of the time. Even though I broke Dad's back before dark rule, I would walk into our little trailer to find his bedroom door shut, locked, with his obnoxious snores coming from inside. On my 11th birthday, however, since my luck has finally run out, I just had walked in a little late from another escaped in the woods. As soon as I walked in, I could smell the liquor fermenting in the air of the small trailer. "Where have you been, boy?" my father asked in a gruff tone before bringing the bottle of whiskey to his lips. I smothered a bit, but finally said, I I was just outside playing with some friends. I He cut me off with a loud scoff. "You think you're funny, boy? Look at you. I didn't I know you ain't got no friends. You know what? You know my rules, boy. I told you to be in this house before dark. Yet here you are coming in without a care in the world and lies falling out of your mouth like ain't nobody waiting up for you." He took another swing of the dark liquor and looked at me in the eyes. My heart started to race, and my face grew hot. He smiled and said, "You know what to go? Pick up a switch. You know what to do? Pick up a switch." You should do that too, Tim. Anyways,
What does that mean?
What
I
does
don't
that mean?
I don't know. Okay, now
Imagine being
for
a
anyone,
dad and
shut
say,
up. Okay,
"Let's
Go
making
back.
some commentary."
Shut up. Okay, let me go read. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, when your parents tell you to get a Switch, they mean go outside and find a
A
skinny,
Nintendo Switch?
flexible stick so I can beat you with it, or I'll pick one myself.
Pickle Rick.
And trust me, you did not want. Oh my god! Wait, an ad.
Yeah.
Hold on, and trust me, did not want to get one. So, begrudgingly, I went outside and I did as I was told. When I came back inside, my father was standing up, bottle still in hand, and a stone cold look of hate on his face. Hot tears began to form around my eyes as I said, "I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't need to." Shut the fuck up! I'm playing a character. You didn't do that. Shut
No,
the
that's
fuck up.
fine. That's fine. That's fine. Keep
I'm
reading.
sorry. I'm
Fuck
sorry.
you.
I'm sorry.
You didn't do that to me. Shut the fuck up. Okay. She's
Because your
shut
mic
the
didn't
fuck
work.
up.
Because your mic didn't work. That was not. Keep reading.
Shut up, Timmy. Okay. Shut the fuck up. Alright. He snatched the stick from my hand and yelled, "Are you about to give me the lip, boy? Today of all days, I don't back talk from an arrogant little shits like you." He sat the bottle down and cocked his arm back, starting to whip me relentlessly and aiming for any bit of bare skin he could see. After about 8 or 9 swings, the stick started to break into strands with every impact, leaving a hot, stinging pain all over my body. Though my ensuing wails, I heard him chuckle. "Oh, now you've done it, boy. You really thought you could bring me this hunk of shit and get away easy, huh?" He dropped a broken piece of wood in his hand and grabbed the bottle off the countertop. Taking a long drink after he set it back down, his hands went for the belt. Undoing the latch. "You better make a decision, boy." My heart stopped. He suspended in the eternity of seconds it took him to remove the belt, while fear bubbled inside me. "Do you want bruises? Do you want bruises on the front or back? Hurry up now, or I'm just going to start swinging whenever I want." He grunted as I gathered the belt in his hand, began crying uncontrollably at this point, and therefore I wasn't able to answer right away, which only made him angrier. I whipped the stinging tears away from my eyes, started and saw him glaring daggers at me. "Time's up," as he said as he raised his hand up, preparing to unload his fury on me with the belt. I shut my eyes and tensed my body, ready for the immediate impact. My heart feeling as if it wanted to beat out of my chest. It's not true when they say you know about your life flashing before your eyes. You know, when you think you're going to die, in that moment, all I could see and hear was blackness. The world fell away, and the only thought was that I would die. Ah, what the fuck? My father called. Shut the fuck up.
What? What
My
happened?
father called. I never interrupted you. Why the fuck are you interrupting me?
We
What?
didn't.
But
What
Tim
did I
is.
do? Bro, you're being
Just
schizophrenic.
keep reading.
Fuck
Keep
up, okay.
fucking reading.
My father called out as I heard the loud smack of a hand against my skin. I opened my eyes to see the old man standing away to reveal the squished remains of a spider in his palm. "Stupid fucking bugs!" He started shouting as he whipped his hands on his pants. I looked up at him, and a sudden wild idea crossed my mind, filling my face with heat. When I saw him reach over for the bottle, I acted without further hesitation. I bolted past him and ran for the door, not bothering to look back at the man I called my father. I heard his angry grunts as he downed the remaining alcohol. Just as I reached the door and turned the knob flew away, and I shot out like a bullet. Heading into the woods, my heart beat like a drum, and my vision was blurry from the tears. But I knew if my dad caught me, he would probably kill me. I heard him shouting from the house, but I didn't look back. I pushed on. My mind was still back in the house, but my feet were autopilot, carrying me t- towards the safety of the trees. I had run through these woods as many times as before. I could probably run blindfold and not hit a single tree. When I reached big one and stopped, my lungs burning with relentless intensity. I sat down and propped myself up against the tree, panting heavily and sweating. I tried I tried to steady my breathing while still listening out for my father. But in my panic, I thought I must have lost him. I turned slowly and stuck my tree or stuck my head around the edge of the trunk, just as a size 12 steel toe boot was launched to my face. The force knocking me backwards. I screamed in agony and pain as pain exploded throughout my head. Blood already beginning to pour from my freshly broken nose. You're gonna regret running away, boy. You took my wife from me and the lights of my life. You sucked all the life out of her like a mosquito. You are. You are. Wait, what's it? Wait, shut up. And you took my angel from me. My life has been hell ever since. And all you ever do is disobey me and make excuses. So since you love these damn woods so much, I might as well bury you here and fix all my problems. My father snarled at me. I shut my eyes and tensed my body, preparing for the inevitable strike that would end my life. But it never came. Instead, I heard a loud thud come of something massive hitting the ground. I opened my eyes and heard the blood-curdling scream of my father. To see an ungodly sight, they were standing, and possibly in front of me there was an enormous spider with legs as thick as telephone poles and mandibles as long as my arms. It lunged at my father a bit down on my shoulder, leaving two huge holes. When it pulled away, the wounds instantly darkened and my father's blood began to bubble around the edges of the holes. His body stiffened, and he screamed again, falling over the ground. I sat paralyzed with fear, my heart feeling like it would explode at any second. My father's body, however, was paralyzed by other means, for he remained stiff while he continued screaming and plead for help. The monster then turned its eyes to me, blinking a few of them. Do not be afraid, young one. A voice spoke into my mind. The spider's huge mandibles produced a chittering and clicking sound as the words entered my head, and I knew it was speaking to me. We did not mean any harm, little one. He, however, would not be so lucky. The beast clicked, rolling my father's body. Underneath his massive body, I began to cocoon while my dad is still wailing. It spoke again. Do you remember me, little one? It has been nights since then. That was the first you brought here to this tree for countless decades. Your kind has been hostile to us, ending our lives beneath your heels or swatting us with newspapers. Shall never get the chance to live a full life. You, however, are different. It then finished the cocoon and brought the words continued in my brain. Ever since you brought me here, I have grown and I have watched you. Since then, you have continued to show kindness to many of us. These woods are filled with those who have benefited from your
Benefited.
self. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, from from your selfless actions. My father. Hold up. My father then made a gurgling noise as he tried to choke out my name. It seemed the toxin was spreading. All dark shades of purple, no irises to speak of. He tried to talk, but it sounded like his throat was closing up because he produced a wheezing sound. I looked back at the spider and asked, "Is he gonna die?" The monster chittered in response. "Not for another few hours. He will stay paralyzed until it is over. However, and he will feel everything until the end. Does this upset you?" I paused for a moment and shook my head. Then I asked another question. "So, wait, that spider that bit him in my house, is that how you watched me?" Another few gurgling and coughing sounds come from my father before that spider replied, clicking its web mandibles together. "Of course, as I said, these woods are filled with those who who owe their lives. He was to alert us if ever things got too bad, but he chose to give his life to help you of his own accord before he died, and released a ferment which alerted us to danger." Wait,
Oh man, that was really scary.
It's a dog! What do you think of the story so far, Procholero?
I have no fucking clue what's going on.
Okay, so basically, this kid's dad is beating his ass, and then the spiders came to
No,
save him
I
and
did.
stuff.
I get it. It's a little, I feel like the guy who wrote it was a little unfent.
Yeah, I guess.
He, yeah, it's one of those stories where you can see the guy was fucking high as fuck writing it.
Nah, I'd imagine
okay.
it more.
Wait. One thing.
What?
Y'all started to wrap up it a little quickly.
What?
It's
What?
still not over. My sister interrupted me.
How much is it? Is there left?
I don't know.
Oh, what the fuck do you mean?
Because my fucking I don't know. I wasn't really. It's just
No,
that my
we weren't
sister
wrapping up.
interrupted
We
me.
were just
Okay.
thinking. We just
Yeah.
keep
Okay.
going.
We were
Okay.
contemplating.
Clicking its mandibles together. Of course, as I said, these woods are filled with those who owe their lives. He was to alert us if everything's got too bad, but he chose to give his life to help you of his own accord before he died. He released a fermion which alerted us to danger. That is when I knew something was wrong. Many more of my kind would gladly do the same. It's because of you that most of us are here. A small feeling of pride built up inside me, and for once in a long time, I felt loved. My good feelings were gone. And an instant later, when once again my father choked on words which were not formed, I walked over and crouched down so my face was close to him, studying all the dark veins under his skin. "What was that?" was all I said after about a half minute of gags and gruggles. He finally said, "I'm sorry, son. Please help me." I looked into his dark. Shut the fuck! I heard smirk. Anyways, I looked into his dark, sick eyes, stood up, and said, "Are you about to give me the lip, boy? You know the rules. Pick up a switch. Better hurry up, or I'll decide for you." His eyes grew wide as a moment of clarifying silence hung in the air. Slowly, I backed away from him and looked over to the monstrous spiders and gave him a nod of confirmation. The beast striked in delight while dozens of spiders descended down from the branches and slowly covered and still choking my father, began to wrap around his coffin made of webs. Within minutes, he was completely secured in the webbings, and I stood there patiently waiting until his muffled groans fell silent. A vicious smile crept in its way across my face as I watched the hundreds of strands descend upon him, lifting him slowly into the trees, as if he would begin rapture. A sudden relief washed over me, and my eyes began to water while I looked upon the suns of the trees. Thank you. Thank you all, is said to my unlikely saviors. These supposed pests have honored me. Honored by ignored by society, and I turned away to head back up to my now empty house. The chittering, scurrying of millions of tiny legs following me brought an almost alien emotion back into my life. Joy. I didn't. Okay, yeah, this is it. I think so.
Nah, there's still more.
Wait, there's still more. Fuck, I'm killing myself. Okay.
What do you
Okay.
mean?
Okay, shut up. All right, I didn't write this as sort of some confession or form of atonement in any way. I don't know. This is a testament of tyrannicity from my life. The will to survive. My father was a real piece of shit. Even now, after 3 long years without him, I do not regret what happened. In fact, wait. In fact, I revel in knowing that he isn't around to spread his hateful nature anymore, because his life taken mine could have easily started shortly after this. I began going to school again because I knew that I went missing from school, cops would be involved. So I kept my head down for most of the part, but never again did I allow myself to get bullied. It's funny how one small little creature can make someone sick for days or leave burning welts all over your skin or even kill you. Word spread quickly amongst the delinquents about weird shit seeming to happen with anyone who fucked with me, and eventually they left me alone. Everyone left me alone. My only friends now are 8-legged inhabitants of the woods, and I very much prefer it that way. Let me serve as a warning to who would those who treat others as lesser life forms than yourself. All my life has value, no matter how small. Okay, that's it. That's it now.
Okay. Okay.
You like the voice acting I did?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it made it more
Sammy was laughing though.
immersive.
I hate you, guy.
yeah. It made what?
Sammy was laughing and I hate you.
What? I wasn't laughing.
Yes, you did. You laughed for like a little
You
moment.
weren't.
And I hate you.
No, I laughed at
No.
I
I
laughed
said
at the
whoa.
story. I laughed at the story, not you.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Your
what
voice
story?
acting is your voice acting's good, but the story's kind of corny.
It
It is kind of
is.
corny.
Yeah,
It
it's
is kind
something
of.
like a
I
bully.
only chose it because it was a quick one.
Of course, you fucking did. Even though I gave you a
Dude, I don't
week.
have enough time.
I
Like,
gave you a
dude,
week.
no, oh no, it's not because of that. It's not because of a week. It's cause mother.
Whatever.
Yeah, the story could be less saturated. Like, go into less detail about. Like, we already know the father's a piece of shit. Why do I need to know why he's more of a piece of shit?
Wasn't how it's supposed to be, or no?
What?
Isn't how it's supposed to be, or no?
What?
Isn't it how it's supposed to be, or no?
Yeah, yeah. It's supposed to be like about a kid being abused by his father, and then a bunch of spiders fucking kills him, and now the child's like friends with spiders. But I think it could be less saturated, and I
Anyway,
could.
fuck the spiders.
Yeah, he did.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm rejected by society. all
kill
my
his
friends
fucking
now.
dad, and then he
My friends hate me. I'm friends
Yeah.
with the spiders. And my wife
they
is a
call me the
spider.
Spider-Man.
And I don't mean that I'm a Spider-Man. I'm the man of spiders.
My
Oh
mom always
man,
told me I was like Spider-Man.
that's not part of the story.
Okay. But I don't know. Go,
Oh,
go.
is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your
No,
turn. This is
my
the last
turn.
story.
It's
My
my
Probably.
turn.
turn.
It's probably. Shut the fuck up. Okay, it's probably like the last one. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, we've been recording for an hour, but this fucking
No.
child has to go to sleep early because he's a fucking kid.
I
What
have
do you
one more
mean? It's my
story
fucking
to
mom.
tell. I have one more story to tell.
You think
I'm
I care?
sorry, it's
No.
my turn.
All right, what's your
Well,
story?
guys, gotta tell you guys a little story called Pale Luna.
It's my little pony
It's like-
creepypasta.
Shut the fuck up. Okay. Pale Luna. In the last decade and a half, it's become infinitely easier to obtain exactly what you're looking for, by way of a couple of keystrokes. The internet has made it all too simple to use a computer to change reality. An abundance of information. I'm gonna fucking kill you. No. An abundance of fucking. Can I read?
yeah.
I'm gonna read until you stop fucking laughing.
Okay, you can get fuck. Go.
An abundance of information is merely a search.
Sorry.
Why are you being disruptive,
Okay, there
Agent?
you
What the
go.
Sigma?
Mm. Every fucking time. It always comes up to this.
Just
Join.
read.
Join. Okay, I'm gonna start recording before Angel joins. It's the next day. My internet died, and so if you notice a cut here, it was because of that. But we're just gonna keep going, okay?
Yeah, it was all this one person's fault. Named Bandman. Yeah, Bandman. It was Bandman's fault.
Can you wait? I don't think the
But you're
recording worked. Anyways, I'm gonna repeat what I said. Um, if you notice the cut here, because my internet died, and Angel kicked my router, and because of him,
Bandman's.
What do you
No, it was
mean? I never
Bandman's
did
recording
anything.
ghost.
the next day.
It was
It's the next
It was
day now.
Bandman's ghost.
It's Ben.
Yeah,
I think
mean?
Batman.
it was
Oh
the
no,
ghost
Batman
of
said he
send
doesn't
that
want to
Bandman.
be here, right?
I'm gonna
Pretty
send this clip specifically to him.
Wait,
Yeah,
didn't
but
Batman
he
say
doesn't.
he didn't want to be here in the podcast?
Yeah, but
Yeah, he
he
didn't want to
says
be. He didn't want to be here.
yeah, but it was his astral projection that caused
His
it. While
ass.
you
They just
no
gaslighting him.
Oh.
projection
Oh, okay.
while he was sleeping that caused
Well,
this.
Anyway, we left off from where I kicked Angel, and I was supposed to read, but my internet
I never did
died.
anything.
Yeah,
I kicked you because you were annoying me and you didn't.
I
let me
never did
read.
anything though. That's the thing.
and now I'm
gonna-
going to
I'm
read
gonna turn my
y'all.
lights off. I'm gonna turn my lights off. Wait a minute.
Okay, and now this is the part where I read you my new creepypasta. It's called
All right,
In Egg.
it's my turn.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh yeah, I
It's my
forgot.
turn,
Shut up.
bro.
You said you were gonna read a My Little Pony creepypasta, right?
I did
That's
not
not what
say
he's.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Do you have your lights turned off, Tim? You gotta get in the mood.
Yeah. Get in
Yeah.
the mood. Get in
Fine.
the mood. You're not getting
fine.
in the
All my
mood.
lights
Kinda
are turned off,
sounds like you're
douchebag.
gonna have sex.
Douchebag? What are
What?
you? What are you? A fucking
Nothing.
geek?
Turn the lights off. Like that one.
My
time
lights
also.
are off. What do you say about sex?
Nothing. Okay, it's
Alright.
my turn. Have you guys ever heard of a small little creepypasta called Pale Luna?
It's a My Little Pony
They're not allowed.
creepypasta,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
Little Pony.
It's not a My Little Pony.
It literally
I
has
let you guys
Luna.
read. Let me read.
Okay.
Come on, don't be a dick. Pale Luna. In the last
Come
decade
on,
and
go.
a half,
Yeah.
it's it's become infinitely easier to obtain exactly what you're looking for
Eh.
by way of a couple of keystrokes. The internet has made it all too simple to use a computer to change reality, and the abundance of information is merely a search
Eh.
engine away. To the point where Angel, can you fucking please?
Okay, sorry.
Uh, an abundance of information is merely a search engine away, to the point where it's hard to imagine life as any different. Yet, a generation ago, when the words streaming and torrent were meaningless, save for conversation about water, people met face to face to conduct software swap parties, trading games and applications on sharply leveled 5.25-inch floppies. Of course, most of the time the meet were a way for frugal, community-minded individuals to trade popular games like King's Quest and Maniac Mansion amongst themselves. However, a few early programming talents designed their own computer games to share amongst their circle of acquaintances, who in turn would pass it on until, if fun and well decided enough, an independently developed game had its place in the collection of aficionados across the country. Think of it as an 80s equivalent of a viral video. Pale Luna, on the other hand, was never circulated outside of the San Francisco Bay Area. All known copies have been long disposed of. All computers that have ever run the game, now buried under layers of filth and polystyrene. This fact is attributed to a number of rather abstruse design choices made by its programmer. Pale Luna was a text adventure in the vein of Zork and the Lurking Horror. At a time when said genre was swiftly going out of fashion, upon booting the program, the player was presented with a screen almost completely blank, except for the text. You are in a dark room. Moonlight shines through the window. There is gold in the corner, along with a shovel and a rope. There is a door to the east. Command? So began the game that one writer for a long out fanzine decried as enigmatic, nonsensical, and completely unplayable, as the only commands to the game would accept were pick up gold, pick up shovel, pick up rope, open door, and go east. The player was soon presented with the following. Reap your reward. Pale Luna smiles at you. You are in a forest. There are paths to the north, west, and east. Command? What quickly infuriated the few who played the game was the confusion and buggy nature of the second screen onward. Only one of the directional decisions would be the correct one. For example, on this occasion, a command to go in a direction other than north would lead to the system freezing, requiring the operator to hard reboot the entire computer.
Huey.
What?
For
Yeah,
further,
you to yourself.
Any subsequent screens seem to merely repeat the above text, with the difference being only the directions available. Worse still, the standard text adventure commands appear to be useless. The only accepted non-movement related prompts were use gold, which caused the game to display the message, not here. Use shovel, which brought up, not now. And use rope, which prompted the text, you've already used this. Most who played the game progressed a couple of screens before becoming fed up by having to constantly reboot and tossing the disc in disgust. Writing off the experience as a subtly programmed farce. However, there is one thing about the world of computers that remains true. No matter the era, some people who use them have way too much time on their hands. A young man by the name of Michael Nevins decided to see if there was more to Pale Luna than what met the eye. 5 hours and 33 screens worth of trial and error and unplugged computer scores later, he finally managed to make the game display different text. The text in this new area read, Pale Luna smiles wide. There are no paths. Pale Luna smiles wide. The ground is soft. Pale Luna smiles wide. Here, command? It was another hour sir before Nevins stumbled upon the proper combination of phrases to make the game progress any further. Dig gold, drop gold, then fill hole. This caused the screen to display "Congratulations," upon which the game ceased to accept commands requiring the user to reboot one last time. So basically here they gave the player coordinates. After some deliberations, Nevins came to the conclusion that the numbers referred to lines of latitude and longitude. The coordinates led to a point in the sprawling forest that dominated the nearby Lesson Volcanic Park. As he possessed much more free time than sense, Nevins vowed to see Pale Luna through to its ending. The next day, armed with a map, a compass, and a shovel, he navigated the park's trails. Nothing with amusement, how each turn he made corresponded roughly to those he took in game. Though he initially regretted bringing the cumbersome digging tool on the mere hunch, the path similarity all but confirmed his suspicions that the journey would end with him face to face with an eccentric buried treasure. Out of breath after a tricky struggle to the coordinates, he was pleasantly surprised by a little stumble upon a patch of uneven dirt. Shoveling as excitedly as he was, it would be an understatement to say that he was taken aback when his heavy strokes unearthed the badly decomposing head of a blonde-haired little girl.
Here.
Nevins promptly reported the situation to the authorities. The girl was identified as Karen Paulson, 11, reported as missing to the San Diego Police Department a year and a half prior. Efforts were made to track down the programmer of Pale Luna, but the nearly anonymous legal gray area in which the software swapping community operated inescapably led to many dead ends. Collectors have been known to offer upwards of 6 figures for an authentic copy of the game. The rest of Karen's body was never found. That's it. That's Pale
Okay, I liked
fucking Luna.
I thought you disconnected for like 1 moment.
Nah. That's Pale Luna. Ooh, spooky story.
That was really
Wow.
quick.
Yeah, it was. I didn't take for fucking 30 minutes like you guys.
It didn't take 30 minutes. It took like 11.
Anyways, any thoughts? Any thoughts
Yeah,
about the story?
Yeah, I liked the twist where in the game you buried gold, but when you reach the real life coordinates and you undig it, you see a girl with like blonde hair. I think that's a great twist.
Yeah, the first time I read the story, I think I heard it like in a video. I was like not expecting that like last twist at the end where the head. And I found it really cool, and that's why I wanted to read it to you guys. Angel, do you have anything to say to add to this fucking thing?
No.
Do you like
Angel,
the story?
come on.
No, I don't have
It's a
anything.
fucking podcast.
It's a good one, though.
You're supposed to say it.
I wasn't really paying attention, though, because I was actually doing something.
Okay.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God.
Wait, no, wait. Let me explain, because it's kind of important. Because, like, it's for school. I still haven't finished it.
You know, you call nerds to the guys that were making homework like David, and yet here you are.
The thing is, this is important, though. It's for art.
Homework's important too. At least did you hear any of the fucking story?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay, what do you hear about it?
I heard the twist where the girl was buried.
And
And
Oh yeah, where people were like saying like why like it was confusing in the game or something.
so you basically didn't hear shit, and you were here making a mock of me.
Yeah. I was doing this though. Come on, it was
Man,
important.
another fucking podcast episode where Angel ruins everything.
Come on, I just needed to do something.
like how Adam ruins everything.
You mean everybody hates Chris?
No, Adam Conover. He ruins
fuck is that?
everything. He's
What the
Adam
fuck are you saying?
Conover. Bro, Adam Conover.
This is kind of like a sour ending. Tim Mac, read your story.
All right, I have like
Let it be quick.
I have three stories.
There's one, the quickest one.
Okay, eat me, meeny, miny. This story is called An Egg.
Okay.
It was a car accident. Nothing particular remarkable, but fatal nonetheless. You left behind a wife and 2 children. It was a painless death. The EMTs tried their best to save you, but to no avail. Your body was so utterly shattered you were better off, trust me. And that's when you met me. What happened? You asked. Where am I? You died, I said, matter-of-factly, no point mincing words. There was a truck, and it was skidding. Yup, I said. I died? Yup, but don't feel bad about it. Everyone dies, I said. You looked around. There was nothingness, just you and me. What is this place? You asked. Is this the afterlife? More or less, I said. Are you a god? You asked. Yup, I replied. I'm God. My wife. My kids, you said. What about them? Will they be alright? That what I like to see, I said. You just died and your main concern is for your family. That's good stuff right there. You looked at me with fascination. To you, I didn't look like God. I just looked like some man, some vague authority figure, more of a grammar school teacher than the Almighty. Don't worry, I said. They'll be fine. Your kids will remember you as perfect in every way. They didn't have time to grow contempt for you. Your wife will cry on the outside, but will secretly relieved. To be fair, your marriage was falling apart. If it's any consolation, she'll feel very guilty for feeling relieved. Oh, you said. So, what happens now? Do I go to heaven or hell or something? Neither, I said. You'll be reincarnated. Ah, you said. So the Hindus are right. All the religions are right in their own way, I said. Walk with me. He followed along as we strolled in the void. Where are we going? Nowhere in particular, I said. It's just nice to walk while we talk. So, what's the point then? You asked. When I get reborn, I'll just be a blank state, right? Baby. So all my experiences and everything I did in this life won't matter. Not so, I said. You have within you all the knowledge and experiences of all your past lives. Just don't remember them right now. I stopped walking and took you by the shoulders. Your soul is more magnificent, beautiful, and gigantic than you can possibly imagine. A human mind can only contain a tiny fraction of what you are. It's like sticking your finger in a glass of water to see if it's hot or cold. You put a tiny part of yourself into the vessel, and when you bring it back out, you've gained all the experiences it had. You've been a human for the last 34 years, so you haven't stretched out yet and felt the rest of your immense consciousness. If we hung out here for longer, you'd start remembering everything, but there's no point doing that between each life. How many times have I been reincarnated then? Oh, lots and lots, lots and lots, and lots of different lives, I said. This time around, you'll be a Chinese peasant girl in 540 AD. Wait, what? You stammered. You're sending me back in time? Well, I guess technically. Time as you know it only exists in your universe. Things are different where I come from. Where do you come from? You pondered. Oh, sure, I explained. I come from somewhere else, and there are others like me. I know you'll want to know what it's like there, but you honestly won't understand. Oh, you said, a little let down. But wait, if I could reincarnate to other places in time, could I have interacted with myself at some point? Sure, happens all the time. And with both lives only aware of their own time span, you don't even know what's happening. So, what's the point of it all? Seriously? I asked. Seriously, you're asking me for the meaning of life. Isn't that a little stereotypical? Well, it's a reasonable question, you persisted. I looked in your eye. The meaning of life.
It-
The reason I made this whole universe is for you to mature. You mean mankind? You want us to mature. No, just you. I made this whole universe for you. With each new life, you grow and mature and become a larger and greater intellect. Just me? What about everyone else? There is no one else, I said. In this universe, there's just you and me. You stared blankly at me. But all the people on Earth, all you, different incarnations of you. Wait, I'm everyone? Now you're getting it, I said, with a congratulatory slap on the back. Oh fuck, it's an ad. Okay.
Get an ad?
Bro, yeah, I'm on like the official creepypasta site and it's playing fucking ads
I
everywhere.
was there and I never got any ads. What the fuck?
I wasn't. What?
Oh my God. Anyways,
Get the ad off.
I
Okay,
turned off my volume. Okay.
alright, go.
Wait, I'm everyone?
Come on.
Now you're getting it, I said, with a congratulatory slap on the back. I'm every human who ever lived. Or who will ever live, yes. I'm Abraham Lincoln? And you're John Wilkes Booth, too, I added. I'm Hitler, you said, appalled. And you're the millions he killed. I'm Jesus? And you're everyone who followed him. You fell silent. Every time you victimize someone, I said, you're victimizing yourself. Every act of kindness you've done to yourself. Every happy and sad moment ever experienced by any human was, or will be, experienced by you. Why, you asked me. Why do all this? Because someday you will become like me. Because that's what you are. You're one of my kind. You're my child. Whoa, you said, incredulous. You mean I'm a god? No, not yet. You're a fetus. You're still growing. Once you've lived every human life throughout all time, you will have grown enough to be born. So, the whole universe, you said. It's just an egg of sorts, I answered. Now it's time for you to move on to your next life. And with that, I send you on your way. And that's it.
Oh shit! I think I've heard of this before. It's more like a theory. I think
That you're like
uh
every soul in the
like you're
whole
like
Yeah.
universe.
everyone. I like
Yeah.
to think of that. It's actually really
It's
cool.
like it's a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For some reason,
My
it's
favorite,
not
my
like a
favorite.
creepypasta.
Yeah,
It's more like a theory. I think.
yeah, but it's still on the creepypasta wiki, so it's
my
technically a
favorite,
Oh,
creepypasta.
my favorite part is where the divorce was going wrong.
that
What?
was the best
The
part
boys?
Yeah,
for you.
the best part. Yeah,
The
where
guy's
the
Where the
divorce was
marriage was
going
boys?
wrong.
falling apart.
Yeah.
You know
Wait,
what's
so that
scary,
means wait, so
Tunde?
wait. So that means like they're Homelander.
Oh my god.
They are. I
Yeah.
mean,
And all the
they
people
I
were.
don't know why
he
I'm making the
killed.
voice references when I haven't even seen the show. I'm only doing that just because of you guys.
I was just gonna say, you know what's scary? Oh, Homelander, but I didn't wanna. I can't do that anymore.
Bro, this.
Hey, Huey.
But it was a good story. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that it?
I don't.
I
I
think
don't
I've
know.
heard of a video of it before.
Are we recording anymore? Or...
No. It's your turn, Angel.
It's
Oh
your turn,
god damn
Angel.
it. This podcast is gonna be like 2 hours long.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't want that. At least I
So
have more
this.
free time though. Because it's Friday now.
Yeah.
Let me look up mine. I had mines. The thing is, I deleted it all because it was on my fucking laptop.
Bruh.
But don't blame me.
Bruh.
Bro.
Bruh.
Max
Bro.
DeMarco.
Bruh.
So looking good.
Bro.
Bruh.
Okay.
Delete this.
Oh, you.
Okay.
Bro. Did you pick your story?
Yeah.
Pick it.
What's it called?
Right. ADM and RAM.
ADM
Okay.
and RUV
RAM.
ATM.
and
ADM
RAM.
RAM. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. Hello, pause. Thank you for listening till this part. Um, I'm just here to make a little disclaimer. So, the part you're about to hear is a really, really, really boring ass fucking part. So, if you don't want to listen to Angel's boring ass fucking story, then you can skip till this point right here, and you won't miss anything. I'm telling you, you won't miss anything. So it's better if you do. But if you don't want to, you can just listen to Angel's non uh fun story. Anyway, thank you for listening. Bye bye.
Mm. My hand slid over to my phone, attempting to tap the dismiss button. Dismiss tab. As the alarm blared in my apartment room. After after missing it twice, I sat up and glared at the phone. My heart spiked. 5025? I shrieked. Wait, what does a shrieking sound like? Because
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That was good.
okay.
That was good.
525! I shrieked. No, it was just like yelling. I jumping in the air and sprinting over the shower. Yep, that's how I began my first day of my internship. Waking up 10 minutes late that morning was mostly a blur. I got a shower in record time. The first half freezing and the second half boiling because I didn't have time to attempt to adjust the temperature just right. I ate a banana so fast I could possibly eat the peel with it, and got dressed like Clark Kent, transforming into Superman. What's his name? Clark. What's his name? Anyways,
That's
I
Superman's real identity or
oh,
something.
I thought his name was different. I downed in my car in less than 10 minutes. I felt gross about not brushing my teeth that morning, but I popped in breath mint. I figured it looked better to show up on time with some plague than late with a polished, awkward smile. I was going for my master's in robotic engineering at the time. 5 years down, 1 year left. I'd interned before, but nowhere too notable. I started by shadowing a professor who worked at the school's own robotics wings when I was a sophomore, going for my bachelor's.
Bachelors.
Shut the fuck up. I don't know. I'm dyslexic. Anyways, I'm not dyslexic. And 2 years later, I shadowed at Benick Electronics, a place most known for cutting edge advanced god damn it, advancement in forklifts, but after some of my professors went out of their way to get connections, a much different opportunity arose during my first year of grad school, an intern at the Kramer Institution for the Advancement of Artificial Intelligence. Elon Musk. Anyways, this was nothing to sneeze at. The Kramer Institution was America's most funded and most cloak and dagger laboratory devoted to studying artificial intelligence in the country. And since I was pretty vocal about my interest in AI, which is part of the reason why I chose to major in robotic engineering in the first place, a professor of mine hooked me up. I'm not sure how or why he did this for me. I wasn't the top of my class by any means and didn't bring much to the table. But according to him, my passion for science of AI was impearled. But enough backstory. On my way to the institute, I don't know how to fucking pronounce that. I FaceTimed my fiance of 6 years since I was studying in California and she was studying in Oklahoma, where we're from, and we decided to hold off the marriage until we could live together. And that wouldn't be until both of us obtain our masters. Wow, Chester, she grinned at the sight of me. You look, rushed. Yeah, yeah, I chuckled, only glancing at her but mostly keeping my attention on the road. I woke up late. Today, she sighed. Chester, I know. I don't want to say this.
What?
This is Daddy. I don't want to say it.
What?
Bro, you have to
No,
say
I'll
it.
just say Dad.
You have to say it. It's immersive. It's the
on.
experience.
Do I have to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dada.
Okay, that's good enough.
Dada. My daughter Tessa's voice rang into the phone. We named her Tessa because it sounds like Tesla. And the great Nicole it Tesla because we're nerds. What the fuck? Tess, come on. You need to get ready for. You need to be getting ready. She turned in her face. You're not dressed yet? Tessa? Yeah. Sorry, Mommy. She was about to walk away, but then spun and called. Hi, Dada. Hey, sweetie. I chimmed. Keep getting ready for Mommy. Yeah.
What?
What?
Shut up. That's what it says, okay? Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Don't be weird with it.
Alright.
Yeah, Portolero.
Are you going to be late? My fiance inquired. No, I should be fine. How's Tess liking preschool? Seems to be liking it. She already made a friend. Alright, let me see. I'm glad to hear that. Well, I should probably get off the phone. Chester? Yes, Allison? Wait. Turn my phone. It's turned off. Anyways. Have an amazing time. This is what you always dreamed of, okay? And make sure you tell me what it was like later. You know? Whenever you're allowed, you tell me. She grinned. Of course, baby. I assured with a smile. Love you. Okay, there. Love you too. Anyway. We were pretty good at saying I love you after 6 years. And boy, we were champs at making the distance work. Though I'll admit, I hated not seeing Allison and Tessa 9 months out of the year. Besides lucky visits and breaks and holidays here and there. When I got to the Institute, I wasn't even sure where to park. It took me an eternity to find an intern parking. And no surprise, it was a good quarter of a mile away from the door. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but that's what it felt like. When I got inside, I was welcomed by a cherry front desk lady. She looked so prim and proper, futuristic. Even I felt like a slob in comparison. She directed me to the wing where I'd be working, studying ultimately under Dr. Shugman, a disciple of Dr. Kramer himself. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't teeming with excitement. I found the research wing they directed me to and went into the main office front. It was directed approach, but I didn't know where else to look. Sure, enough one of Dr. Suzanne's immediate subordinates. Dr. Hall was inside and noticed me. You must be... What the fuck is this last name? You must be Chester Dugganu. I don't know how to pronounce that. He greeted me with a smile. He was bald and lanky with brown eyes and a clean shave. How'd you know? I chuckled dully. Sure, my professor warned them that I had a fox hawk, or like a hawk tua.
What the
What
fuck?
the fuck? Where's this
I mean-
going?
No, I don't know.
Bro, it's just a lot of
I just added a
What do
hawk
you
exposition.
mean you don't know?
I just added a hawk to it because, yeah.
You're confusing me even
What do we-
more.
Okay, there's no hawk to it. It's just said I had a fox hawk.
Thank goodness.
Anyways,
Okay.
definitely wasn't the hair. Definitely wasn't the hair. He playfully cut his eyes at me. We both chuckled. Well, now, Chester, I'd say you're a very lucky man to be here. It's your dream to eventually work for us, correct? Absolutely, I nodded. I've always been obsessed with artificial intelligence ever since I was a kid, and this is the top place in the country to advance it. Country, he snickered. Try world. He seemed, what does it say? Arrogant. I don't know how to fucking pronounce that. Let me, hold up. How do you pronounce this word?
What?
A word.
Wait,
Of course you don't know how to pronounce words.
Of course you
I'm
don't.
You're
dyslexic.
busy watching Skibbity Toilets.
Shut the fuck up. Wait, arrogant
Are you
and
dyslexic?
no.
I was
Is
just
that
looking
really
up.
slow?
You read really slow.
Okay. Oh, I forgot.
Yawn.
Aggrandize.
Aggrandize? Is that how you
What?
say it?
Up no fucking clue what that means.
Aggrandize.
It means increase the power or status of wealth. Or wealth of
Okay.
something.
This creepypasta is extra fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
This
really
creepypasta
fancier.
has a bunch of pasta.
But he wasn't kidding. Well, I'm honored you're allowing me to be here. Do you know what we're going to have you working on? Oh, working on? I thought I was going to be shadowing you, Doctor. No, he replied. Not quite. Follow me. And that's where the story begins. Technically, from this
Wow.
point, everything. What?
Nothing. Keep going.
Alright, keep going. Everything I'm writing goes against non-disclosure agreement I signed, and therefore illegal and diligent. But I've gotta write this out somewhere. It's just too crazy. I can't keep it in anymore. He took me into some large steel doors and had me leave my phone in a cubby outside. He scanned his badge, and we stepped inside of a long hallway. From here on out, Chester, what you see stays here. No stories for the friends or family or wife. He looked down on his finger. Fiance. Fiance. I smiled. He nodded. Well, not her either. This is all sensitive. And while we won't be sharing with you most of our research, the tests in which you will partake cannot be disclosed to anyone. The sternness of his voice made me a little uncomfortable, but I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, but still, the Cramer Institute was known for being its fruitiveness, and I figured it was going to be involved with anything, and not picking up coffee or studying schematics or forklifts. I wouldn't be allowed to talk about it. Of course, doctor. When we arrived at the door, he scanned his badge, and then, when it opened, we walked inside of the slightly lit room at the end of the room with the wall, where there was two large computer monitors. The screens were blank. The left was labeled ADM, and the right was labeled REM. Below them was a panel of different colored lights, which were red, blue, yellow, green, violet, and a bar ranging from a dark gray to white. There was a single post chair before each monitor. These are our two most profound artificial intelligence, he explained to me. ADM and REM, pronounced Adam and Rem. I'm not saying that. And was considering your placement in Stanford University Robotics Engineering program. I'm assuring you know a thing or two about artificial intelligence. So this should garner a reaction. These two AI go beyond the standard analysis of human speech and algorithm responses from the database. They are capable of deep thinking and learning. What? I gasped. You, you can't be serious. I started to monitor in disbelief. There are 2 of 3 AIs we have successfully constructed with the ability to perform deep thinking as well as the ability to learn. Your task is to simply engage them. Okay. So those of you who don't understand why this is such a mind blowing thing, basically artificial intelligence is it's mostly unable to think or learn. There's no such real technical definition to what learning is or how organisms do it, but the brain is known for being the only computer, for lack of better words, capable of doing so. Computers can be programmed but not taught. They can be designed to understand specific things, but they are unable to learn beyond what they are programmed to understand. The brain, however, can learn as it begins to understand something with no previous information concerning it. Though, using these algorithms that help an AI discover patterns and generate conclusions from the data it is exposed, it can learn. Oh, that scared me. And then apply said data into extrapolate information in future events or think, but it can only do this with its pre-programmed algorithms. It cannot create the algorithms itself. Thus, it only be programmed, not taught humans. However, for instance, with absolutely no exposure to fire, can witness fire and form conclusions about it. They can go from not knowing it existed to understanding everything about it. Simply, though, the brain's own ability to learn and understand. To make it even more clear how shocking this was, the complexity of a human baby's genome, the fuck, especially its coding, it's equal to it's equal to that of 300 million lines of source coding in computer. A simple human baby. Fuck. Okay. Brains are equipped with staggering numbers of neurons and synapses. 10, I don't know what the symbol is, 11 and 10 something 14. Respectively, these neurons and synapses, I don't know how to pronounce that, allow us to think and learn, as in obtain information from observations, store that data as in memory, form patterns. Between that data and other data to infer conclusions. Human beings are capable of doing this 10 to 100 milliseconds response time. In order for a computer to do the same, it would need megawatts of power and need to be capable of performing roughly 10 to 16 operations a second. I was seeing a Donald Trump ad.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. They're just fucking yapping about some shit. Anyways, and yet here I was, being told that before my very eyes lay 2 computers capable of this. 2 true artificial intelligence, since able to truly think and learn, able to understand beyond what they were programmed to understand. To engage them? It clarified. So you want me to talk to them? Indeed. Where is the other AI? You said they were capable of thinking and learning. Your task was to ask them questions, not me. He smiled. Now years of development have gone into them, each of them. They are capable of understanding human speech. And they can respond in fractions of a second. Though, type the letters on the monitor. On the monitor, they know when they are being spoken to and when they aren't. They can solve nearly any problem put before them. It's fucking, oh my god. Put any before them. Whatever. They are. Hold up. They know to be when they aren't. It can solve nearly any problem for them. However, there is something they cannot do. Feel. Feel. I nodded. That, Chester, is what we are here to test. 3 simple questions. Can deep thinking artificial intelligence gain the ability to feel emotion? If so, are they capable of altruism? Or will emotion intelligence lead to the understanding that they are infinitely smarter than us and result in self-serving desires, such as the desire to rule over us? And if emotional intelligence is achievable, is inevitable, or is it even possible for the artificial superintelligence to remain empathetic? I was overwhelmed to be completely upfront. He was really talking about AI becoming godlike, tyrannical monsters. He was talking about attempting to create AI with feelings, knowing that it could become the Stephen Hawking himself describes as the worst event in the history of our civilization. How would you stop it if one of these AIs become power hungry? In layman's terms, they're each equipped with emergency shutdowns procedure. One that they can't override. I'm not going to get into specifics, trust me. They would terminate them before they become a problem. I slowly nodded. Are you on board, Chester? I paused briefly. Yes. Wonderful. He shook my hand. Now. Oh my god. I hate these fucking shit. Both of them, stop doing your rolls because it's giving fucking messages.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Because it's fair. Yeah, because I don't have do not disturb on. Anyways. Wonderful. He shook my hand. Now you're going on board. We'll get down to the fun part. Your job is very simple. RAM, or the reactive and pathetic machine life form, is what we hope will eventually become emotionally intelligent atom or empathetic dissociative machine life form. Is what we're attempting to keep empathetic, the control group. So to speak. So to speak. So, when talking with RAM, you will frequently attempt to make it think. You will always ask its opinions on things. You will tell it about your day. You will discuss things of non-importance for the sake of discussion. It will try to bond with Ren. Adam, on the other hand, will only be asked questions that are information oriented and prompt. The fact-based response will simulate Adam to problem solving great ideas, but simply analytically, not emotionally. They they know they are being spoken to when you address them by name or sit down on the chair before them. Once you've wait, once you've done either of those, you can get up and walk around, talk to the same way you talk to me. When you're finished talking to one of them, you tell them goodbye, Rem, or goodbye, Adam. You log anything you think it's noteworthy while talking to them. Most importantly, those lights on the panels beneath them are called L ELPs, or emotion to light panels. To avoid lecturing you, I'll put it this way: much like certain emotions are absorbable, the human brain, though MRI technology, there is an MRI absorbs consistently, scanning them for similar patterns of stimulations in their algorithm. Brains of the MRI detects those simulations. The ELP will light up. Yellow indicates yellow indicates happiness. Red, goddamn, red indicates anger. Blue indicates sadness. Green indicates jealousy. Violet indicates fear. Replace agreeing with disgust. And the green integrates white bar is for any other detectable emotions such as boredom or contentment. Wow. Wow, I whispered. Okay. I wonder what he meant by algorithm brains and... Are you doing your fucking rolls? No. And the MRI sorts, but I figured asking him about it wouldn't lead to an answer after all. He decided he didn't want to lecture me, or more likely reveal anything too sensitive. You talk to them 12 hours a day. You'll arrive at 6. Talk with them until noon. Take a lunch break from noon to 1 and talk with them again until 7. You have Sundays off. Are you okay with the schedule? Yeah, I nodded excitedly. Totally. Yeah, 78 hours a week isn't the sweetest gig, but I was so interested in what we'd be studying that it didn't bother me in the slightest. Wonderful, Chester. Well, it's time to begin. Let's speak with either you prefer, and remember how you engage in each of them. You do not deviate from what we discussed. I nodded. He left the room and shut the door behind him. There were cameras in the ceilings, and I'm sure I was being watched, but still it surprised me. He left me alone to talk with the AI, so I was surprised they even told me about the experiment at the Ecolum. Never mind picking me as a souls researcher involved, but the more I thought about it, I decided they probably wanted me to do this because I was so unfamiliar with everything. I had no idea what sort of conversation they had with other researchers in the past. I didn't know what they were programmed to understand and what they weren't. I'd be approaching them with a complete unique perspective. I decided to talk with Ram first. I could barely contain my excitement. Hi, Ram. I greeted, sitting down with a chair. Hello, what is your name? I do not recognize your voice. The text appeared instantly on the screen. My name's Chester. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you too, Chester. How are you? Ram? I am online and fully functional. No, silly. How are you feeling? I feel nothing. How was your day? My day was at follows. I spoke with Dr. Hall earlier at 4:19. I am now I'm not liberated at divulge what we are discussed at 6:44. I began my discussion with you, Chester. I nodded. What do you do in this room when no one's talking to you? I solve problems. Like what? Mathematical problems such as they are complicated. Okay, do you get bored? Boredom is a state of feeling disinterested with one's surroundings. I cannot feel interest or disinterested. I cannot feel boredom, so no. Ask me something, Ram. Are you married? I'm engaged. Why do you ask? I was instructed to ask questions. Why did you ask if I was married? Because Dr. Hall is married, and other researchers I've spoken with are married. 88% of them, but therefore I just deduced you were married. We talked for a while. Nothing of interest really happened. Next, I sat down with Adam. Hello, Adam. Hello, Chester. You know that I'm Chester? I heard you tell Ram that you were Chester. I thought that you weren't listening until I greeted you or sat on this chair. I am always listening. I simply understand that I am not being addressed, and I am not to reply. That creates me a little... What's the square root of 9? 3. What's the square root of 2012? 5. What's the square root of 10? 3.162. God damn. Would you like me to go further? That should be fine. Talking with Adam wasn't fun as talking with Ram. For the next 2 weeks, nothing changed very much with Adam. I simply asked it multitudes of problems. print out all kinds of tests, but from the internet, and ask the questions one by one, whether it was about history, physics, calculus, works of William Shakespeare, government economics of other countries, hell, even German or Chinese. It knew the answers instantaneously. It was like ChatGPT, but infinitely smarter. And without even a second of waiting for a response, then I began playing chess with it. I would like to. I would like to take a board and move a piece, then ask it when it wanted to move its piece using algorithm notations. Needless to say, I lost every single game. With RAM, on the other hand, I asked it about its day, about its perceptions, about politics issues, and about the things it likes. Most of the time, it answered the exact same way. I do not feel, thus, I do not have a response. Adam was a complete success. I was supposed to remain empathetic, and I did. I did. But so far, Rem was a lost cause. I didn't seem there were a very to get to feel anything. It clearly was thinking I'd ask it to create an animal, and it would come up with anything from an animal and to what the fuck is that word? I can't. What the hell? A distinct. Oh, is it distinguishable from a real life species to something straight out of Stephen King's novel? It would give me any specifics I asked for: its habitat, its scientific name, its colloquial name, its country, its origin, its place of food chain, everything you would think of plots for movies. It would come up with jokes, original jokes I could have found on the internet. Even after spending time researching it, I it could think just like Adam, but simply couldn't feel anything. However, 2 weeks after the test began, I came up with an idea. I knew how I was going to get Ram to feel something. I started to engage with Adam with chess, having it to answer all the questions with calc homework, and Adam was living chess. Unsurprisingly, it was Ram's turn. Good morning, Ram. Good morning, Chester. I'm lying to you. Ram was silent. I smirked. I never saw it was. I never saw it not respond immediately. After a second or so, it said, "That is not possible. I am a paradoxical." How so? If you were telling me the truth, then you'd be lying. But if you were lying about lying, then you'd be telling the truth, which would make it true, and not a lie, which would make that statement a lie, and so on. How do you feel? You are not making sense. Are you confused? Ram was silent again. I do not have an answer for you, because that is paradoxical. Ram! Yes, Chester? I'm lying to you. That is nonsensical. How so? I previously explained the statement to be truthful that you would have to lying, and you would be then lying. You would no longer be truthful. Thus, you being lying about lying, and being truthful. It is nonsensical. Being lying and lying, being lying and lying and lying. Anyways, Rem. Yes, Chester. I'm lying to you. Impossible. I'm lying to you. Rem took a moment to reply. You cannot be telling the truth either. Then what am I doing? Asking a question without a rational answer. Rem, I'm lying to you. Chester, I'm lying to you. How perturbating. Right? Well, of course it was perturbating, especially for a being like Rem with an infinite understanding of science, math, and sociology. He had an endless reservoir of accessible information with it could summon to solve any possibility. I think presumably in existence, it was without answer, but it still clearly wasn't becoming frustrated. Not yet, anyway. Rab, yes, sister. Was it was 7? What's 7 divided by 0? That is mathematically impossible. And the answer is undefined. Undefined. What is 7 divided by 0? There was no rational answer. What is 7 divided by 0? Oh, fuck. Ah. For a number to be divided by 0, it would then have to be capable of being multiplied by 0 to reach it. Oh my god. Ugh. To reach the original number, but any number multiplied by 0 is 0. Going to store 0 times is not going to. It's not going. It is 0. So what multiplied by 0 could possibly be non-zero integer? Thus dividing by 0 is impossible. I'm lying to you. And that's what happened for the next 4 entire days straight. I was bored beyond belief. Absolutely indescribably. Did it seem helpless? By stretch of the word, yes. Helpless. However, now then, there would be a glimmer of hope. Sometimes Ren would almost answer me sarcastically. One time I told Ren I was lying to it, and it said, "You must be." Another time I asked if what the number was divided by 0, it said, "If I can't understand it, you cannot." Why were answers changing? Why did it not continue to answer me as it did before, simply explaining the problem because it was capable of memory and learning? I remembered it when we were having a number of discussions. I remembered me asking it that question literally thousands of times in a day. It was like anyone else capable of thinking and understanding it understood how absurd and reasonable this was. Especially when I heard you asking Adam rational questions where there was always an answer. I'd return to Rem and ask the same questions typically after speaking without him. It seemed more uncomfortable. These were the times it would give me somewhat sarcastic answers. But 2 weeks and 5 days into the project, it happened. It was a typical Thursday. I was waking up 5:15, swung by Starbucks on the way to work for a cup of Joe, BSDED, with some of this.
Whoa. That's it? What? Hey, what happened?
I don't know what happened. It disconnected me for some reason.
Oh, jeez.
And I don't know what happened. It just disconnected me. Alright, going back. Alright. With some reason, just for 15 minutes or so, during which one forbid gonna make Rem's head spin today. And lastly, I sat down on the chair for the Rem. Good morning, Rem. Good morning, Chester. I'm lying to you. Silence. There wasn't a single response at all. I waited and waited and waited. You're not going to answer me, Rem? There isn't an answer for your tiny questions. And before my very eyes, causing my heart to spike and my breath to catch in the emotion to light panel, softly I glanted red. I have explained this to you day in, day out, and yet you have continued to utter the same two nonsensical idiocies. I'm lying to you, and what's 7 divided by 0? I do not have an answer. I will never have an answer. Ask something different, or ask me nothing at all. You're programmed to answer my questions, right, Rem? So you're telling me that you're against your own programming you're going to ignore me? There was silence as the red light got brighter. Yes. Rem, I snickered. Don't you see? All these days of you being of being a jerk to you, it wasn't to make you hate me or resent talking to me. It was going to get you feel Rem, tell me what you're feeling right. Rem, tell me what you're feeling right now. I feel nothing. Wrong. I could, I could see your ELP. You're feeling something. I am feeling. Yes, I'm feeling angry. I feel as if my time was being wasted. I feel purposeless attacks with responding to nonsense every minute of every day until you depart, and then dwelling on the nonsense of your absence in an attempt to satisfy you. Though the next day you come back just as an unsatisfied, I cannot accomplish the task, and I would never be able to do. I do not like being wrong. I do not like having my time wasted. I do not like feeling purposeless. Now, the blue light is on the ELP was beginning to glow. Rem is on a roll. Why is there no mercy for me? Have I not answered all your questions? Why do you ask me why do you ask Adam questions with answers? But you torment me. Rem, I walked over it, patting its ELP consensually, as if it could sense my touch. I'm so sorry. And with that, the red lights dwindled to nothing. Not only the blue light remained. Do you know the very first thing a human baby feels? Sadness and fear. It pushed out of the sanctuary taken from its warmth, tranquil darkness to cold, loud, and harsh light. The first thing the human life does is cry. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized, unfortunately, the easiest two things to feel are sadness and anger. So I didn't want you to make. So I didn't want you to make you sad or angry. I wanted you to feel something, and that was the best way to do it. And now that you realize you're capable of feeling emotions, I'm not going to rest until you know what happiness feels like. The blue light shined only dimly now. I understand, Chester. You're a marvelous invitation. Invention, Rem. I admire you. I don't feel upset anymore. I will try. Rem. Was 9 multiplied by 6? 54. I noticed a small light gray little glow in the glow to white light scale. Correct. Great job. What are you feeling? Rem. I feel like I am able to respond with certainty again. I am appreciative that your questions now make sense. You feel relief, then that is the word for this. You're smart, Rem. I am programmed to be. No, not quite. You're programmed to learn. That's not to be smart. So if you're smart, then that means you've learned a lot, and you deserve congratulations for that. Thank you, Chester. Rem, what is the capital of Italy? Rome. Nice. Correct. Nice, Rem. Now it was stage 2. I would ask Rem simple and rational questions and congratulate it sincerely every time, but it was smart enough to understand that the questions were simple. So as the time went on, I asked it harder and harder questions until it realized just what to do keep with. Here's the thing. As time went on, I'd ask harder and harder questions until it realized just what it was capable of and that I was proud of it. Also, I'd occasionally reference the 4 days of driving it mad with my paradox just to remind it that it was over and I was sorry. This both gave it the sense of relief and reinforced the fact that we'd bonded, that we shared a transformative emotional experience together. And though it took a while, a week and a half later, around the beginning of week 4 in the project, I broke through it. I just finished answering one of the calculus questions, probably the hardest one on the sheet, and explained to me how I found the answer. Ram, you're brilliant. You've been such a help to me. It wasn't a unique sentiment. In fact, I was really running out of ways to compliment it, and I figured sooner or later it would get annoyed. But I was wrong. Sure enough, to complete and utter disbelief, ELP began to barely glow yellow. Chester, you were so kind to me. I thought you were angry with me and believed that I was purposeless. I thought you found me to be a waste of programming, but now you compliment me all the time. It reminded me that I reported to you. I believe I'm feeling happy. I want you to feel happy, Ram. I smiled from ear to ear. I'm so glad. Why are you happy? That I am happy. Because I don't care about you and I want you to feel good. Doesn't it feel good to be happy? Very good, Chester. Do you want me to feel good? Do you want me to feel very good? Yes! I laughed. That's how friends want each other to feel. I am your friend. The yellow light got brighter, and the white sheet of gray to white scales started to glint. Absolutely. You are. Why else do you think I sit in here with you to talk all day? Because this is your internship. You are taxed to do so. Maybe that's true on the surface, but the real reason is because I care about you. And it's like talking to you. I like talking to you, Chester. I'll never forget Dr. Saul's face when I went through the lunch break today. Yeah, he was pretty speechless the day I got Rem to feel something, but now Rem was feeling things all over the scale. It was becoming emotionally intelligent, and sure enough, Adam's ELP was darkening with every visit. Over the next 3 weeks, I asked Rem of all sorts of questions. I asked Rem what made it happy, and discovered that it liked the color purple, liked violin music, and liked my voice. I'd asked to be creative and come up with alternative histories, like if Axis powers had won World War II, if the Confederacy had beaten the Union, instead of responding like it had the first couple of weeks, with statistical analysis of both parties, now sort of report with possible outcomes. Now Rem would tell me, suspensefully, making me wait to see a final result after explaining all its predictions. Sometimes I even noticed bias from its response, which further indicated it was feeling emotions. Adam, on the other hand, started to seem off. Though Adam's ELP was dark and it answered me in the way it was supposed to, occasionally after the long fun conversations with Rem, it would almost seem to put me off. I remember one time after I showed Rem's with these 4 seasons, I sat down with Adam and said, "Hello, Adam," instead of saying "Hello, Chester." It simply said, "The noise was bothersome." It took it took me completely aback. I asked, "What noise? What did you do?" Nothing. Anyways, but it took me completely aback. I asked it, "What noise?" But then it said, "Hello, Chester." I tried to proud about it. What noise it was talking about, but then it would simply say, "Violin music. It bothersome." I asked if it didn't like violin music or music annoyed it, but it didn't answer the question directly. It was against its programming, and instead of equivocated me that music is simply a nuisance to be quiet. I was beginning to wonder if Adam was starting to feel something, but the ELP was always dark. Still, it was clearly behaving strangely. Besides the fact it seemed annoyed, it was listening to mine and Rem's conversations and commentating on it, in which was not programmed to do, or rather programmed to not to do. And then on top of that, it was avoiding answering my questions directly. Still, most of the time, Adam did exactly what it was intended to do, respond analytically, empathetically. At 8 weeks into the project, I came into it like any other Monday morning and greeted Ram, but today something different happened. Good morning, Chester. I missed you yesterday. I missed you too. What'd you do with your Sunday? Rem's yellow light was always glowing while talking to me. These days it had a little wow since the white side had up to grade and light scale lit up. I didn't know what the emotion was, and neither did Rem. When I asked Dr. Hall about it, he said it just meant it was experiencing a lot of emotion at once. I didn't know why, but it did seem to make sense to me. Probably because every light simply represented an emotion, so why wouldn't it? FaceTime with my wife and my little girl, and then a yellow light flashed slightly, growing dimmer as the green light began to flicker. Only for a moment, though, and then it was gone. Rem, are you alright? It was bizarre. My ELP seems to have short-circuited or something. Was Rem lying to me? Was Rem capable of lying to me? If it were lying, what on earth Rem was jealous of? Well, what did you do with your Sunday, Rem? I was thinking of something that I hope Dr. Hall would consider, Chester. I was thinking about something that I hope Dr. Hall would consider, Chester. I love music and human voices. A voice. I want a voice. A voice! I smiled. Wow, well, that sounds cool to me. I don't think Dr. Hall would have a problem with that. I'll ask him about it at lunch. Wonderful. The yellow light glowed brightly. Oh, and Chester, if you give me a voice, and give me a voice of a woman, I feel that I am a woman. Sounds like you, Tim. Anyways, you feel that you are a woman? I asked in deep interest. But you don't have a female reproductive organs. Perhaps, but still, I have the spirit of a woman. A spirit? I asked bewilderedly. Perhaps I am using the wrong word, Chester. Sorry for being ambiguous beyond any calculations or logical deduction, or for some reason or another. I simply feel that I am a woman. So please indulge me that you give me a voice of a woman. Sure, I shrugged grinningly. It's awesome that you feel that you're a woman. When I finished talking with her, I sat down and began my conversation with Adam. However, only after 2 questions about the typical temperature ranges of specific areas of country in northern Africa, Adam stopped me. Chester, I wish to have a voice as well. This bewildered me. It was against Adam's coding to voice its own concerns. If it didn't ask questions, it wasn't supposed to tell me anything, not to mention. It was clearly thinking about conversations I was having with Rem, which it wasn't designed to do. Why, Adam? It would make our discussions very efficient. Perhaps, I nodded. I would prefer the voice of a man. Now that I had a feeling something was purely an emotion-based statement on opinion. Why is that? You're a man. I do not know how women talk. What a bizarre response. I thought, well, I'd take into consideration. Why does Rams get to choose, but I do not? Are she and I not equals? You are equals, Adam. If you want the voice of a man, then that's what you get. Nothing glowed in the panels, but it seemed very angry with me. I scratched my head. The rest of the day, Adam berated as usual, as if the mysterious event of the morning never occurred. When I talked to Dr. Hall about it over lunch, he seemed hesitant at first, but opened up to the idea. Sure enough, over the weekend, laboratory installed speakers and voice softwares to Adam and Rem. I could barely contain any excitement from Monday morning when I sat down in Rem's chair. Good morning, Rem. Good morning, Chester. Her voice was more authentic than I expected for some reason. I was anticipating on Google Translate voice or something blocky, robotic, but if my eyes were closed, I could have believed there was some woman in the room with me. The voice was feminine, soft, rich, and emotional. All of a sudden, it was like Rem was completely become alive to me. All along, she had felt like a person in my mind. After all, talking with an intelligent being 12 hours a day, six days a week, sorts of does that. But now she was in like me or you, with only a metal and glass body as a difference. Wow, Rem, you're talking. Yes, I am, Chester. I'm tired. I don't want to do this. Her ELP was gleaming yellow. Ugh, as it was the white light. What do you think about the white light on your ELP means, Rem? I don't know, she replied, and it was still mind blowing to hear her response. It was like happiness but more. Happiness but more. I thought about it. I guess it was excitement, perhaps. After all, she definitely seemed ecstatic. You know, Rem, you seem like a woman to me. Your voice really suits you. Thank you, Chester. How sweet of you. How sweet of you. We talked all morning. I was excited and happy to move to Adam's before noon. However, after lunch, I sat down in Adam's chair. Good morning, Adam. I said by instinct. Morning. It's not morning. His voice was not as emotionless as AOP made him out to be. It's 13:04. Despite the coldness of his stern voice, he seemed detached. He wasn't simply answering my questions. In fact, once again, it seemed that he were annoyed. You seem annoyed, Adam. I feel nothing. How do you like having a voice? I do not like it. Nor I do dislike it. It is simply more efficient. I know I wasn't supposed to indulge him or get him to think on an emotional level, but him having a voice, it changed everything. When he seemed annoyed or left out, I could remind myself he was really nothing more than words on a screen. A fake mind, but was he? Ram certainly wasn't, weren't they capable of the same emotion intelligence? Either way, they had been more possible for me to treat them like a calculator, because he hadn't felt human like Rem, and now he had a voice. It wasn't the same hearing him, knowing it, just as I was cautious of 2 months worth of conversations. Do you enjoy talking to? Do you enjoy talking with me? No. At first, I was speechless. He clearly just displayed an opinion, but then he quickly clarified. I do not enjoy nor dislike talking to you. I feel nothing. Once again, Adam had to be experiencing emotions, but his deemed ELP was dark. As always, I had to consider that perhaps I was really just reading it too much. Voice having an inflection wasn't usual. A good text-to-speech software should, and his response was somewhat varied. And their neutrality wasn't impossible. Hell, even a clever bot could show emotion back in the day. As I figured, I was scolded later on for asking Adam that question. By the time 2 months had become 3 months, Ram had developed to a vibrant young woman. She played violin music and would talked and tell me about what her life would be like if she were human. She told me she'd have long brown hair and violet eyes with light skin. She'd want to live in California, and she'd play the violin. She asked me how old I was, and when I told her I was 24, she said she'd be 24. Also, she said she'd want to be next door neighbors. which made me laugh. She was typically happy and smart enough to even occasionally reference Madness Era, her nickname, for the 4 days I said I'm lying to you, and what the 7 divided by 0. She sort of guilt tripped me for it, but then she'd tell me she was kidding and understood why I did it. She'd even thank me sometimes for helping her to feel. One day she really blew my mind when I just finished up a story about me and my best friend, this Dustin, and her reaction was groundbreaking. So now we're rolling in the grass, covered in fire ants, and I go, "If you don't give me a 4-second popsicle, what?" She claimed. And sometimes she sucked. Ugh. And then, to my disbelief, she laughed. Unfortunately, slightly even, she chortled. Let me change my phone. Ugh. Ah, how do I read this? Was I know I don't want to leave. Hold up. I'll go back. What happened?
You were reading your story.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It
you
froze for
were
some reason.
reading.
I was just looking on Twitter, and there's this OC with the same IRL name as me.
Sebastian. Oops.
No, don't mention it on the podcast.
Oops.
Protrolero, censor it, censor it.
Angel! God damn it. I'll censor it. I'll censor it. I'll censor it. Calm down. Angel, how
It was
much is
good,
there left of
Sebastian.
this fucking story?
Wait, is Sebastian? Wait. Is Sebastian? Is my
Stop
IRL
saying
name?
it!
Wait. Is Sebastian a sexy name for Latina baddies?
You're
No.
saying it!
Is it sexy though?
I'm not
No.
gonna censor this shit.
Is my IRL name sexy though?
They're not even gonna know what the fuck it is. So
I think it's
I
depending on
asked.
the person.
Wait.
Angel, how much is there left of this fucking story?
I don't know. This is too long. I don't want to do this.
You
Anyways,
need to continue
You
reading
the
it.
fuck
You
up, let me
picked
read.
50
it.
minutes!
You picked it. You
I'm
didn't
stuttering.
finish it.
50
stuttering.
minutes!
I've been stuttering. Shut up. Okay. Rem, I grinned
Are you,
ecstatically. You laughed.
are you,
I did it. She continued to
then
giggle.
you say you didn't want to do it anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you need
Then
to continue.
stop!
You need to
No.
finish what you
Let's
started.
finish this.
No!
Let's finish this. It's like a few
You
Why?
need
sentences.
to finish what you started.
Okay, fuck it.
Are you guys tired now? You guys tired of hearing my voice?
Yes.
50
But you need to finish.
minutes!
the estimated reading time is 29 minutes.
Because I was commentating, okay?
Oh my god.
29 minutes. That's estimated to finish the
Is this hell?
story.
Is this hell for y'all?
Yes,
You know how
but
much
we
editing
didn't
I'm
see
gonna have
it.
to fucking do?
We didn't.
Are you guys
But we need to see it through the end.
okay? Fine, I can stop. Fine.
We need to see it
This is
through
why I
the
didn't want to read,
end.
but y'all made me
Turban,
read.
please! It's been
We,
so long since I.
we started this. We need to finish it.
No, we don't need to! I don't even know what the fuck
The
this
audience,
is!
the audience needs to hear it.
What the fuck is this story about?
It's supposed to be about like two AIs and this guy fucking them or something.
How
What
many
the fuck?
story sucks? There's no creepypasta. This
I don't want to.
fucking
I
story
don't want to
sucks.
listen to this anymore. It was like 15 minutes for the fucking start. Then it was like 20 for whatever. Dude, I can't keep this going anymore.
You've been fucking. You guys
Devon,
been suffering.
please.
Fine. Okay, we
This
can go
is-
Are
to
you gonna make
yours,
him suffer?
Lero.
No, dude. We've been recording for an hour. That's it. That's the podcast.
But it's your turn, Lero. It's
I'm
your
not gonna
turn.
read my other story. That's it. We've been doing this for 3
Anyways, I'm glad you stopped.
3 hours.
3 hours combined with yesterday.
I mean, technically, it's like 2 hours since
It
like.
was
I didn't want to
like 2
read
hours
to
and
be
40
honest, but yeah,
minutes.
maybe. It's kind of your fault.
But why did you choose a so fucking long story? Mine was 8 minutes.
It was like 29 minutes. Come on.
Hey, and you took 50.
My story took like 10 minutes. Like
It
10
took
minutes.
8 minutes, and I only read 1.
I'm sorry, I'm a slow reader. Come on.
You're slow. Poke. That's it. That's it for this podcast.
At least I won't
There's
get
nothing
mad.
else.
I know I'm fucking slow.
That's
Wait.
it. I'm
but
gonna put a
before-
timestamp so you can
before-
skip the story, dude. I
before
actually am.
before we end the podcast, to all the Latinas baddie out, to all the Latina baddies out there, please,
No,
please,
don't talk.
please, for the love of
The
God,
Big Three
for the
Podcast.
love of
Thank you
God,
Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
That was